I wanted to do a video on this just ridiculousness, the total myth of these people that are lying to themselves, just overtly lying to themselves, just so they feel better about what they're doing, because it's obviously so disgustingly horrific that they have to lie to themselves to make themselves feel better, maybe sleep better at night. But this is a supposed doctor, someone who claims to be a doctor, named Chen Y Wang. The family medicine intern did a great job with a circumcision. Baby slept through the entire thing. All I did was stand there to supervise. Now let me just explain something to you about sleeping through a surgery. First off, you can't give a children fully anesthetic, a baby or an infant full anesthesia. You can't put them to sleep, which is literally the only way to actually prevent circumcision pain, because the dorsal nerve block has been proven to not be effective at completely eliminating the pain. The reason is it doesn't block the pudendal nerve, which innervates the underside, which is where the frenulum, the most sensitive part, is. So the most sensitive part of the child's genitals is not blocked by the dorsal nerve block. So this idea that children sleep through this is absolutely ludicrous. You can go onto these moms groups, the Cutter moms, just all back and forth. Oh, he slept through it. 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 Yeah, you have people that are listening down the hall to these babies screaming their heads off. And then the doctors will say, oh, they don't like being strapped down. I mean, it's just so nonsensical. It's absolutely outrageous. But you can see Miss Wang. Obviously her Wang is intact. She stopped people from replying. So the good people that did reply, we're going to read through those. So who can reply? Obviously now nobody can, because you have to follow replies of follow Wangs or mention can follow. So she's probably blocked that ability after reading this. So anyways, let's see. Oh, right over here are the relevant people. She is the academic family medicine and public health physician at Cook City Health. So she likes bikes and colorful hair, tweets my own him or she her, likes bikes and colorful hair. Do you like mutilating babies, or is it just the profit that you like? I don't know. I wish you would answer that question. Okay, so T-Tone says, we call it traumatic shock, unless, of course, the child has issues with sensory input, which nobody does. In which case, removing the most sensitive part of his penis probably wasn't a good idea. That's a pretty interesting reply. Brew Q Crew says, I think he was in shock, not sleeping. I actually feel bad for him. 15 Square says, what was the diagnosis that warranted amputation of the child's foreskin? As a charity that supports men who have been adversely affected by circumcision, we ask all parents to reconsider circumcision. There's almost no reason for a person to undergo it. Actually, the reasons for circumcision or amputation of any body part are, gangrene, advanced cancer, frostbite, advanced lichen sclerosis, or BXO. And I think that's pretty much it. I may be missing one in there, but diabetic neuropathy and peripheral artery disease, which means that it has to do with diabetes, advanced stage diabetes. All of these are exceedingly rare. There is as many medical necessary circumcisions as there are medically necessary labiectomies. So think about that. I've talked to veterinarians of 30 years of doing surgery on animals of all of the other species. There's 5,488 mammal species that have a penile sheath. They have never heard of a medical necessary circumcision in any other animal. It's crazy. MGM victim says, you're boasting about violating a defenseless infant's body. Just stop and think about how you would feel if doctors had cut off part of your vagina as a child and you had no way of opting out of it. Infant genital mutilation should have been banned years ago. I mean, it's just crazy that these supposed doctors are doing this. I mean, do your research, you idiots. Michael V says, the fact that this is damaging, disfiguring procedure was forced on my genitals with no need has caused me an immense amount of pain and anger. It poisons my sex life with feelings of violation. I am far from the only one. This is genital mutilation. It's wild that you brag about it. Okay. Michael V also says, just a few of the countless men who wish their genitals hadn't been needlessly cut against their will show this thread. Let's show that thread. Okay, I'm not going to get into that. Let's go back. Okay, so Jim says, great job cutting normal, healthy skin off a child who was never given the chance to say no. Who permanently had his penis altered without his consent? That's not medical care. That's torture. What happened to first do no harm? Okay, BSR says, what medical justifications justified your supervision of an irreversible and always harmful procedure where the patient is unable to consent? What are the multiple functions of the foreskin that your supervision denied this helpless child? How do you sleep at night? Okay, Pound Family Medicine is not performing unnecessary and irreversible cosmetic surgery on non-consenting child. Family medicine is teaching the functions and care of a healthy, normal, intact body part. Pound intact care, not mutilation. Intact care, not mutilation. Okay, Reed Nelson says, circumcision is genital mutilation. My body, my choice shouldn't be a female privilege. I hate that circumcision was forced on me without my consent. Hey, look at these 61 likes. These are great. A lot of people are on this. Okay, ban male circumcision, criminal behavior. Okay, more replies. I think whoever this was done to gets to decide if it was a great job. Please reconsider your acceptance of infant genital cutting. Many of us did not want this done to our bodies. This service should not even be offered in 2021. Exactly. Melody says, can we maybe not normalize genital mutilation anymore, please? It should be. It's about to be 2022. Cutting healthy babies isn't medicine, ma'am. It's fraud. And this is what you tell yourself and your students, that babies are asleep. I can tell you that, I can bet you tell that to parents too. The neurobiology of infant trauma. We're going to go back to that one, and I want to read that. It's a great, fantastic mime, but we're going to get back to that and read that one. Okay, Ghost Orchard said, he didn't sleep through it. As you know, he was in shock. The intern mutilated the genitals of a child. Just think, would you like any part of your genitals cut off? No medical organization recommends male circumcision, but here you and the intern are harming a boy. Social change before it's too late says, there's no way he was sleeping. He went into shock. Please speak up against human violation, rights violation, and don't participate, even with social pressure. Finally, media contains potentially sensitive content. We'll get into that. That looks fantastic. I want to read that, but we're going to get into that. Okay, we'll go back up to that. Moo Ma'am says, oops, this is it pulled up on my computer, so let's read it. I think male circumcision is worse than an incision of a girl. With boys, a lot of skin is removed. The consequences can be worse for boys than for girls. Ayan Hirshi Ali. She is a victim of genital cutting herself. Now, there are some extreme versions of female genital cutting, but they only occur in about 10 to 15%. If you know anything about it, there's different types of female genital cutting. FGM type 3, which includes infibulation, which is where they sew the opposing parts together after they've mutilated a girl. Usually, typically include types FGM 1 and 2, both A and B. And I'm not going to get into the details on those, but it's a horrific, horrible thing to do to a girl. So I would say that is maybe even even more damaging than male genital mutilation. But I mean, it's not a competition, to be honest with you. As soon as you take a knife and pierce the genitals of a small child, you are committing a gross crime against humanity, against that child, and you are violating every possible known ethics that any human being has ever considered an ethical consideration. Okay, Mom for Intact says, can't wait for the day people see this garbage for what it is. Just totally admitted you watched a violent sexual torture on an infant. Imagine if that were a female. So sexist. Yeah, exactly. Okay, and then you have Deverance K. Milos. I'm sorry if I said that now wrong. Deverance K. Milos. Okay, what exactly are you performing genital surgery on a small baby? What was wrong with his genitals? Exactly. This is not a parental choice. We don't have any other choice to cut off any other body parts. Why is it this one? It's cultural. It's a cultural mutilation on a helpless infant who can't consent to it. It's just the most gross violations of common sense and human decency there possibly is. And this doctor, Mrs. Dr. Wang, you don't even deserve the term doctor, Miss Wang. Maybe you should protect Wangs instead of mutilate them. Jesus, I mean, it's outrageous. And how is this blocked? There's no image here. Let's see. What does this say? Okay. Removes as much as 80% of more of his penile skin. This is pretty in-depth. You could pause the video and read this. I'm just going to leave it up here for a second so you can do that. Okay, and then we'll go to the next one. We'll do the same thing. You can just pause these videos. I don't want to read this. It's just going to take too long. But these are some very valuable things. Just pause the video if you want to read this when you see this. Okay? It's great information, though. Interior structures of a natural penis. Okay? This is a part of our DNA. Every human being creates this. We all have this part of our body. In fact, females also have this part. It's called the clitoral hood. Okay, let's read this one. The neurobiology of infant trauma. A noteworthy example of infant trauma is the work from Perry and his colleagues, which are extremely valuable because they include not just behavioral, but also developmental neurological and psychological data. Perry et al. 1995 demonstrate that the human infant psychobiological response to trauma is comprised in two separate response patterns: hyperarousal and disassociation. In the initial stage of threat, a startle or alarm reaction is initiated in which the sympathetic component of the autonomic nervous system is suddenly and significantly activated, resulting in increased heart rate, blood pressure, respiration, and muscle tone, as well as hypervigilance. Distress is expressed in crying and then screaming. Okay? But Perry's group demonstrated a second, later forming reaction to infant trauma, disassociation, in which the child disengaged from stimuli in the external world and attends to an internal world. The child's disassociation in the midst of terror involves numbing, avoidance, compliance, and restricted attention and restricted effect. Traumatized infants are observed to be staring off into space with a glazed look. Okay, and this is the effects of early relational trauma on right brain developmental affect regulation and infant mental health by Allen and Shorn. S-H-O-R-E. All right, so that's what this comes from. Children do not sleep through this. It's an absolute ludicrous, nonsensical notion. It's been well documented that the dorsal nerve block is not effective at blocking 100% of the pain, and this is a normal pattern. Now, this is actually, you can see this in nature when a animal goes silent, because I mean you've played with cats and dogs before, you know, as they're puppies. You know, if you want to get a cat to follow something, you make it run away from it, right? So if you have like a string, you pull it away from the cat. As soon as the string just lays there, the cat loses interest. What is this? It's the normal predatory instinct to attack something that is running away, right? So as soon as it flops down on the ground and plays dead, guess what does that also? Possums do that. Possums play dead. There's also a snake called the hognose snake that literally pukes and rolls over and plays dead. It's a very effective technique to get the predatory instincts of the predator to stop. So it's normal. It's actually a part of our, and they call it the fight, flight, or freeze mechanism. So when a child goes silent, this is a sign of worse trauma than if a child screams the whole time. So this is it's a total ridiculous statement to say that a child slept through the entire thing. Yeah, Miss Wang, Miss, whatever. It's just you're just a garbage human being. You're just as disgusting as human beings come. You should not be in medicine. You should be disbarred. Your license should be taken away, and you should literally be in prison for this. People that mutilate children deserve prison, not money. She's probably paying her Tesla payment or her nice big house payment off of that child's genitals. A lot of these hospitals will then take that genital tissue and sell it. It's just, man, I can't believe I live in a world where this is okay, where supposed people. You went to. Did you ever take sociology? Did you take cultural anthropology? Have you taken logic? Have you taken philosophy? Have you taken psychology? Miss Wang, you're not a doctor, so I'm not going to call you a Dr. Wang. Have you taken any of those basic courses? Because this is a sociological. Anybody that's taken Sociology 101 can educate you on how you think this is okay. That how you're so brainwashed and so brain dead that you literally can't think through common sense. It's common sense not to attack the genitals of a child, Miss Wang. It is common sense. You should be exposed, and this is why we're doing this. And this, I think she made it so that she can't. Nobody else can respond to this. Let me show you that spot again, where it says you can't. Who can reply? Nobody can reply, right? She shut it down. But you read it, Miss Wang. You read it. You read these people and you read their information. I hope you did. And this is coming out of the woodworks. People are starting to wake up to the truth of these quack doctors, that are doing this to children. It's a violation of basic medical ethics, of common sense, of human decency. You're violating the rights of a child. You would never strap down an adult man and attack his genitals while he screams in pain, telling you to stop. A child can't verbalize that, but they are telling you to stop when they're screaming. This is it's just absolutely ludicrous. I just can't say enough horrible things about it. I just can't even believe I live in a society where this is okay. Miss Wang, you are a horrible human being. You are a disgusting violator of children, and I hope that let's just open this up and look at who this person is. Oh, she's that's who she is. Miss Wang, you are a disgusting human being. Look at this. Met some cool people today applying for. Ooh, we're going to talk to Cox City Preventive Medicine. Yeah, we're going to. Met some cool people applying. Oh, she's actually involved in this pretty deep. Okay, but we will contact Cook County Health Preventative Medicine. We're going to show these people this video. Let's see, Cook County Health Preventative Medicine. Cook County Health, you need to fire Miss Wang. You need to reverse your procedure policies of allowing mutilation to happen in your hospitals, and you need to stop making profit off of the genitals of little children. And where is this place? Public Health. We will do more research. Chicago, Illinois, Cook County Health. Let's look at this. Because it's not just these doctors that are doing this, these places that they're working. Okay, this is where we need to do, okay? Program contact. We will contact you. Christy Edwards, we're going to contact you today. We're going to contact Juleigh Nowinski, Konchak. I can promise you, wherever that name is from, they don't mutilate their children either. So, this is just ridiculous. Miss Konchak, Juleigh Konchak. I'm not going to call you a doctor. You don't deserve the term doctor. Cook County Health. Public Health and Preventative Medicine. It's not preventative medicine to mutilate children. The preventative benefits are so trivial, nonsensical, and they're actually completely questionable. They're even questionable if they're even true. And even if they were true, even if they were 400% true, 400 times the proposed benefit of UTI reduction, of penile cancer reduction, of of cervical cancer or HPV reduction, of any of these nonsensical excuses of STDs or HIV. All of these are ridiculous, nonsensical reasons. And even if they were 400% true of the claim benefit, it still wouldn't justify what you're doing to infants. And so maybe some of you that are watching this, you can call these people. You know, here's a program contact, Christine Edwards. You know, you look at Cook County Health. You guys can start making these phone calls and letting these people know that we're on to them, that this is no longer acceptable to mutilate children in 2021, about to be 2022. You know, these are people that are supposedly educated, that should have more than enough education to inform them of the true harms and nature of genital cutting of children. It's absolute egregious violation of our human rights, and these people need to be stopped. We need to not be quiet anymore. We need to approach these people. Look at these phone numbers right here. You've got Christine Edwards, academic coordinator, 2312-864-4446. The other number, this may be your cell number, 312-864-9593. We've got Juleigh Konchak, MD, 312-864-0637. There's their emails right here. We might as well put these people as part of our outreach program. So these, I'm going to make sure Cook County Health goes into our miscellaneous group. We have a huge miscellaneous group of people just like this to educate them about the true harms and nature of genital cutting. And we're going to be making campaigns through NLI. If you want to volunteer, please let me know. Look in the description below. You will find how you can get a hold of us and all that other good stuff. But we are going to end genital cutting for our children. This type of thing is going to be happening more and more, where these idiots make such ridiculous posts, and then they're going to get responded to in increasing amounts. You know, what did she expect? What did she expect that she was going to get when she posts on there about mutilating children's genitals? Is she so outside of common sense that she can't even recognize what she's doing? I just can't even fathom that. These people are taught to critically think. They went through the basic courses that we all go through in college. You know, you have to take some courses in, you know, in sociology and psychology. You have to take those courses. So if you've taken those courses, you already should know enough. If you've taken biology 101, right, the basic biology course for all health professionals, you learn about this part of our science that is very well developed, called natural selection, and how organisms create our bodies are literally created through millions of years of changing through the environment that is an continual adaptation to environments. Well, 5,488 mammal species all have a prepuce. This has been part of mammal evolution for 160 million years. It's not there on accident, Miss Wang. It's not a disease-causing tissue, Miss Wang. It's a normal, healthy, functioning body part that you're cutting off, mutilating children, and children do not sleep through it. Quit lying to people. Educate yourself on psychology. Educate yourself on how the fight, or freeze mechanism actually works. Because this is ludicrous that you're lying to people. Slept through the entire thing. It's just outrageous. Okay, I'm gonna quit. Venting, but I think that we need to expose these people. That's why I'm doing this video. Nobody can respond anymore on here, so we might as well make videos and share this on YouTube, and that's what we're gonna do. Thank you guys for listening. I really appreciate your help with this. Please like, share, and subscribe. We have to get this out. One of the things I've noticed is that not enough people are sharing these videos. Not enough people are liking these videos. If you're watching this, if you're going to be part of the number that are watching this and you're not liking it, it's a little click, right? You know, I mean, you know, do I have a bunch of people that hate what I'm doing that are watching this? Maybe I do. I know I have some trolls that are, maybe circumfetish trolls who are so involved in this that they're like literally attracted to doing this to children, and so they troll me because they don't want us exposing them or exposing their unique fetish. I mean, that's literally a thing that happens in our society, which is it's just another twist of sickness that this leads to. I mean, this is a child that was sexually violated and mutilated, and it needs to stop. Thank you for listening once again. All right, I'm not done with this yet. I'm going to call Christine Edwards, MPH, Master in Public Health. I think that's what that stands for. And we will ask her if she knows that her doctors are publishing, are saying such ridiculous things. This is Christine Edwards.
Sorry, Christy Edwards is not available. Record your message at the tone. When you are finished, hang up or press pound for more options.
Hello, Christy Edwards. My name is Daniel Rold. I'm calling about a post that was posted by one of your doctors named Chen Y Wang, MD. Today, the family medicine intern did a great job with circumcision. Baby slept through the entire thing. All they did was stand there to supervise. First off, you're literally removing sexually functioning body parts from the genitals of little children without their consent. There's no medical need for this. This is a violation of basic ethics, common sense, human decency, and your oath to do no harm. And this doctor's bragging about it on Twitter, and people are disgusted with this. I'm going to read to you some of the responses. J-Tone says, "We call it traumatic shock, unless, of course, the child has issues with sensory input, in which case removing the most sensitive part of his penis probably wasn't a great idea. I think he was in shock, not sleeping. I actually feel bad for him." 15 Square says, "What was the diagnosis that warranted amputations of a child's foreskin? As a charity that supports men who have been adversely affected by circumcision, we ask all parents to reconsider circumcision. There's almost no reason for a person to undergo it." I'm actually making a video about this, and I'm going to be posting on YouTube to expose the corruption and disgusting violation of human rights. This is not medicine. The supposed medical benefits are trivial, nonsensical, and ludicrous. They do not stand up to a reasonable research or critical questioning. As a victim of genital mutilation, I'm missing the most sensitive part of my genitals. The foreskin is actually one half the surface area. It contains 75% of the nerve endings, including the two most sensitive parts, the frenulum and the ridge band. We are educated, and we're educating the population about the true harms and nature of genital cutting of children. You need to reprimand Dr. Wang. She shouldn't even be called a doctor. I don't even feel comfortable calling her a doctor. Miss Chen Wang needs to be educated on the true forms, the true anatomy and structure and function of the male genitals. 5,488 mammal species all have a penile sheath. This has been part of mammal evolution for 160 million years. If you've taken biology 101, you can debunk this ridiculous genital mutilation. Genital mutilation actually started as an anti-masturbation campaign in the 1890s when it was thought that sin caused diseases. We're literally doing pre-germ theory quackery to the genitals of children and then lying about it. Children don't sleep through this, Miss Edwards. Children don't sleep through this. There's a fight, flight, or freeze mechanism. The freeze mechanism is a dissociative state when the child goes completely silent. The dorsal nerve block is not effective at preventing 100% of the pain because the pudendal nerve innervates the frenulum in the underside of the penis, which is the most sensitive part. So every child that is genitally mutilated goes through extreme pain. Anytime a child goes silent, it's because they're actually in a state of dissociative shock. This needs to end, and we are educating the people of America. And Cook County Health is going to needs to review this and needs to educate its physicians and needs to stop doing this because we will start filing complaints. This is over. Genital mutilation is over in the United States, and you guys will have your asses sued if you continue to do this to little children. It's just egregious that you allow this to happen in your hospitals. It's disgusting. It's a sexual violation of a child. It's child sexual abuse. It's disgusting. As a victim of this, I'm outraged that you're still doing this in 2021, almost 2022. You have access to the information on the internet. You could Google Sorrell's fine touch sensitivity testing. You could look up the only histology study ever done on the foreskin by Taylor, Cold, and Lockwood, and look up their research that actually maps and follows the same we found abundance of Meissner corpuscles in the frenulum and the ridge band that actually matched Dr. Sorrell's fine touch sensitivity testing. If you look at Jennifer Bozzio's sensitivity testing study, she actually proved that the foreskin, the outer foreskin, which is the least sensitive part of the foreskin, was the most sensitive part of the human body, even more sensitive than the fingers. If you look at her research and then her conclusions, she completely lied about it. So we are on to you guys, and this is not public health. It's in no way benefited that child. It only benefited the hospital by making profit. We know that hospitals sell these tissues for additional profits. This needs to end, Miss Edwards. We're not done with this by a long shot. And as a victim of genital mutilation, we are going to expose.
The maximum length for a recording. Finish your recording after the tone.
You need to stop cutting the genitals of children. We are informing the public of what you're doing, and we will create massive class action lawsuits in the future. I hope you can't sleep at night knowing that this happens in your hospital. And as a victim of it, I'm very angry that this is done to me.
You have reached the maximum length for a recording. To send this message, press pound or hang up. Your message has been sent. If you would like to try an extension, you may...
I'm just outraged. I'm just so outraged. I can't not do this. Let's call, okay, this is Dr. Juleigh Nowinski Konchak of the program director. We're going to leave her a message as well.
Sorry, Juleigh Nowinski Konchak is not available. Record your message at the tone. When you are finished, hang up or press pound for more options.
Juleigh Konchak, my name is Daniel Rold. I am a victim of genital mutilation, and I was reading one of your physician's tweets recently on Twitter that says, today at the family medicine intern did a great job with circumcision. Baby slept through the entire thing. All I did was stand there to supervise. First off, we know that the dorsal nerve block is not effective at removing 100% of the pain. There's been more than enough studies that have shown this, that the pudendal nerve innervates the frenulum and the underside of the penis, which is the most sensitive part. So every child that is circumcised will feel extreme amounts of pain, regardless of the anesthesia used. Sugar water, I mean, that's just ridiculous. That sugar, I mean, you have myths that are being perpetuated today on the genitals of children. This actually started as an anti-masturbation campaign in the 1890s when it was thought that sin caused diseases. This is pre-germ theory, 19th century quackery, and you're still doing it to children today. And you have doctors lying that children slept through this. This is so painful that when a child goes through this, they may go into complete shock. And when they go into shock, they go into a disassociative state. Okay, this is an actual part of the fight or flight or freeze mechanism. That's why possums freeze. Okay, that's why the hog-nosed snake freezes and plays dead, because predators have a predatory response or that predatory instinct when their prey is running from them. So this is actually a normal, this is a biological part of responses to extreme trauma. And you have medical doctors who do not know this. This supposed Dr. Wang, you know, maybe she should respect Wangs and not mutilate Wangs. Dr. Wang. I don't even feel comfortable calling a doctor. She's not. She does not deserve the term doctor. She should be in prison for mutilating children. Your hospital should be sued. I mean, every ounce of money and profit that you have coming into your hospital at the Cook County Health needs to be given and redistributed to these victims of your quackery. This is absolute medical quackery. The medical excuses are ridiculous, nonsensical, and trivial at best. Even if they were 400% true, I wouldn't want to be missing the main sensory, the primary sensory tissue of my genitals. It's 1/2 the surface area. In the average man, it's 15 square inches. It contains 75% of the nerve endings, including the two most sensitive parts, the frenulum and the ridge band, as documented by the only histology report ever done on the foreskin by doctors Taylor, Cold, and Lockwood, legit doctors. You can even look up Dr. Sorrell's study, which actually it coincides perfectly with Taylor's study that showed Meissner corpuscles in abundance in the ridge band and the frenulum. I'm sorry, I'm upset about this. I hate even having to have this discussion or leave such a message with somebody, but you guys need to stop mutilating the genitals of children. It's absolutely abhorrent, disgusting, ludicrous. This is 2021. You could do your own research. This is 5,488 mammal species all have a penile sheath. This is part of our DNA. If you've taken biology 101 and you understand natural selection, you already understand that this is bogus, ridiculous. You can't do surgery on children without a diagnosis with parental consent. That's crazy and ludicrous. You have to do parental consent because can they cut off little parts of little girls? This is sexist. It's a sexist policy. It's a violation of child's rights. It's violation of every medical ethics, and this is not over. I'm a genitally mutilated man, and I have dedicated my life to exposing your corruption. I know that many hospitals even sell the tissue for additional profits. You're making money off of genitals of little children, torturing and violating and sexually robbing children of their full sexual potential for life. Also, you can make you can go to dinner on the weekend or pay half of your Tesla payment, not even the full payment. That's what you're doing this to children for. You guys are disgusting. Cook County Health should be ashamed of Dr. Wang of posting this ridiculousness. I'm glad she posted it because we know what you're doing in your hospital to children. This is exposing your corruption, and I'm exposing your corruption. This is disgusting, ludicrous, absolutely violate. I mean, I'm just so mad right now. I'm so angry that you're doing this to children. It's just absolutely disgusting. You should be ashamed of yourself. You should be ashamed of the organization that you work for. And as a program director, you need to educate your doctors that this surgery is a violation of human rights.
You are approaching the maximum length for a recording. Finish your recording after the tone.
We are exposing your corruption, supposed Dr. Konchak. This is disgusting that you're doing this to children. Disgusting. You deserve your whole body. I deserve my whole body. That child that you mutilated deserved, that Dr. Wang presided over their mutilation, deserved their whole body too.
Maximum length for a recording. To send this message, press pound or hang up. To play it, 3. Your message has been sent. If you would like to try an extension, you may do so now. Goodbye.
Until we go after these people, until we expose them, this will continue. And we have to do something. I mean, being quiet, maybe, I'm not trying to I don't know. It's just, it is what it is. It is what it is. We have to do this, y'all. We have to do this. We have to stand. We have to voice our opinions, or this is just going to keep going. And it's being done. Look at the responses that Chen, Miss Wang, ironically, what a name, huh? Miss Wang got, and then shut off, so she didn't want the public, talking about this. I mean, what nonsensical person would just boast about this on Twitter and not expect to have a huge backlash? I mean, it's absolutely, these people just think they're so full of their own ego that they don't even recognize the harm that they're causing, and it needs to end. Anyways, thank you for listening to this. Thank you very much. And please, again, share this stuff. I mean, you may not even agree with the way I'm approaching it or whatever, but this stuff needs to get out there. People need to be angry about this. Anger creates, people need to know that there's pissed off people about this, that we're not just sitting there and taking this garbage happening to our little children. You should be mad about this. This is a sexual violation of a child. People should be mad about this. This should make every human being's blood boil. Their blood should boil about this. If this doesn't make you mad, I don't know what is going on in your brain. Maybe you're not human. Maybe I'm not human. I don't know. Maybe I'm an alien in this body. I don't know how I got here, but my DNA, my soul, my spirit, my DNA, every part about me just screams at this as just horrible. I mean, people just trivialize this and say, oh, it's just a little flap or whatever, we know it's an essential functioning part. It contains the most sensitive part of the genitals. Every man that has had this happen to him is having sex in black and white. And that's just the facts. We have sex in those little tiny ass televisions in black and white, and it's across the room. That's basically what we're experiencing compared to what it should be. And it's just, and that's not even the most egregious part. The most egregious part is the trauma. When a child goes silent, that is a sign of higher levels of trauma. And this affects the brain of that child. We know through adverse childhood experience studies of Harvard University that this actually creates morphological changes in the brain. This affects the personality of the person that we became. This is part of why I think I have anger issues my whole life. This is part of why we have a broken society with broken marriages and high rates of divorce, high rates of unsatisfied partners and men. And this bleeds into so many areas of our society that the repercussions of this are untold and can never be fully described. But if you understand what's going on, if you understand the background of this, then you can extrapolate the full repercussions. It needs to end. Again, share this, okay? And don't just watch this. Like it, please. Like this and share this. This information has to be given out. One of the things I see is just meek intactivists where they don't want to share this information. They're, they can watch it or stuff like that, but they're just too scared to speak up, and that needs to stop. We need to have all of us speaking at the top of our lungs, to stop this. We need to share our information. We need to organize. We need to combine and combine our efforts into intelligent.
Break up the adhesions between the foreskin and the head of the penis.
In pediatrics, the reason we're circumcising is mainly because you feel more comfortable with a circumcised penis, especially since your other two children are already circumcised, right? Basically what we're doing is an elective procedure, primarily because you just feel more comfortable. In the clamp, then we clamp it.
Behind circumcisions. Hospitals and doctors can make big bucks off the procedure, especially since the foreskin doesn't always go out with the biohazard. Sometimes it's sold for a profit.
Look at the data. It looks like there are some things that it does reduce the incidence of, but there are things that are incredibly rare anyway.
There are religious, ethical, cultural, and medical reasons to circumcise. For Father Kobe Johnson, despite being circumcised himself, he decided not to circumcise his 4 boys.
The concern of, oh, I'm going to look different than my dad, or I'm going to look different than the other guys in the middle school shower, it doesn't really come up that much.
To him, medical benefits didn't outweigh the risks.